Hey you guys, happy Thursday morning. Hope you guys are doing well. I'm going to bring you a really quick video because I have to get ready for work. But I have some in case you missed it, and I am so happy to report this video because sentencing, yes, some of these people have finally gotten sentenced. So in case you missed it, Jeremy Williams, now 40, he is the one that filmed the SA murder and the continuous acts of SA on a 5-year-old corpse, Kamari Holland. He had paid her mother $2,500 for sexual servitude, but in the midst of this, he ended up taking the little girl's life. He received 4 death sentences. 4 death sentences. So this fool, he is never, ever getting out of prison other than a pine box. That's the only way he's getting out. Now, the mother of Kamari, Kirsty Siple, 37 now, I didn't like the fact that she did take a plea deal and she had to testify against Williams. We did not need her testimony at all because Williams' video showed everything. But she took this plea and she is doing 20 years. I hope she does every single moment of those 20 years. And I hope it's very agonizing for her. I really do. Besides all the weight that she's gained in there, it seems that, she's eating good. If nothing else, it seems that she's eating good. But she really deserves to be in there for the rest of the 20 years. Most definitely. I also plan to do a video very shortly of Jeremy Williams' past crimes against children, including his own murder of his 1-month-old daughter. I do plan to do that video, so please check it out when that drops. Also, I believe this story is out of Houston, Texas. Brian Coulter, he's 34 years old. He opted out of a jury trial. I guess he didn't want 12 people judging him, and he just wanted to go before a bench trial. So he went before Judge Kelly Johnson. Now, if you recall, Coulter, he savagely beat his girlfriend's 8-year-old son, Kendrick Lee. And I remember that during the video, because I seen a lot of actually random videos that this couple would post, Gloria Williams, the mother of these children, she would make dinners for this nasty ass man, and he was always drunk, and the kids would just watch. They would be like lined up or sitting on the floor just watching. She was pretty much starving these children or barely feeding him because she was catering to this freak here that she called a boyfriend that she was just so infatuated with for some reason. I have no idea. But he ended up savagely beating her child in a room and just throwing a blanket over him and basically told Gloria Williams it's in God's hands. And that's what she went with. And to make matters even worse, she left with Brian. They went and got a whole other apartment somewhere else, leaving her children behind and the deceased body of her 8-year-old behind. And she would randomly send food over there for them. But she's living and not even thinking about these children no freaking more. And I think the oldest at the time, I think it was 15, he finally, was like, enough is enough. And he called 911 and got this ball started. Where they all got arrested. And his poor little brother was finally put to rest. He was dead. Rigor mortis had already set in while this woman is living it up on the other side of town with this man that she called, her boyfriend. I mean, horrible. So the judge actually listened to the testimonies of the siblings, and they were haunted by this man, haunted by their mother's boyfriend, of what he did to them and ultimately what he did to their little brother. They watched their little brother beaten to death by this man. They watched it. The judge told him, I hope, this child haunts you in your nightmares. And she sentenced Brian Coulter to Life in prison without the possibility of parole. Now, Gloria Williams, her trial is coming up soon, and honestly, she needs a matching sentence. She really does. For what she did, definitely, she needs a matching sentence. So I hope that actually happens. Now, this other story here, Van Eric Custodio. He's a former college professor. He, along with his wife, did a whole video about how they wanted to love a child, raise a child, give this child so many opportunities. And unfortunately, the wife did not know she was married to a freaking monster. They ended up adopting an infant. And shortly after the adoption, this professor, he would take this child, squeeze this child, throw him, shake him, do everything that he could do to where this child was dying. He was dying. And luckily, the adopted mother was able to be in this child's life, like his final minutes before he passed away. He did. And they gave Eric Van Custodio, they gave him 23 to 28 years in prison. He was acting like he was so heartbroken and couldn't believe what he did. He knew exactly what he was doing. And I do remember this case coming up next out of Chicago. Clarisa Figueroa. She was 46 at the time and 50 when she got sentenced. She was on one of those mommy-to-be new mommy chats on Facebook. And she befriended a woman that already had a small child. She was married and she was pregnant and at 19 years old. And she befriended her and told her that she had like a whole bunch of clothes that she was willing to give her for free. So the woman came over there to get these clothes right before she needed to go and, I believe, pick up her child. And she never arrives to go pick up her child from school. It's because Clarisa Figueroa and her daughter, Desiree Figueroa, they managed to strangle her and cut the baby out of her stomach. And then dump this pregnant, well, not pregnant anymore, but dump this woman into a trash can outside the house. And that happened in 2019. The woman in question's name that unfortunately lost her life at people that was preying on her baby, her name was Marlon Ochoa Lopez. That was her name. And Figueroa, she had actually, if my memory serves me correct, did like a GoFundMe. And she had even posted that she had just given birth. People that knew this woman knew that she had got her tubes tied. And at this point, she was not having any babies. She even somewhat tricked her then boyfriend, I believe that was a lot younger than her, that she was pregnant or just giving birth. It was nuts. It was nuts. And they gave her a test. They saw that you did not just give birth. And then they did a DNA test. And there's no way that this child belongs to you. So pretty much the jig was up and they were all arrested. Even the boyfriend for helping to conceal afterwards, helping to clean up and conceal this crime. So Clarisa Figueroa, she received 50 years and she's already 50 now. So if she makes it to 100, I guess she'll be free then. But I doubt very seriously if she'll make it. And Desiree Figueroa, her daughter, she received 30 years. And the boyfriend, Piotr Bobak, he received 4 years in prison for the concealment. So those are the stories, and I'm so happy that they all got sentenced. We're just waiting on Gloria Williams' sentence. And again, I hope they're matching sentences. So I hope the families have some kind of peace, feel a little bit better that they are never, ever, ever getting out of prison. And that is it. Have a great Thursday.